Yes, that is the right date you're looking at there, guys. 13th of the 2nd, 2023. Just a few days ago from me speaking to you right now, right? And I should fill some of yous in. If you don't know what's been going on, I've been going through hell for months, right? From September last year, basically, is when this started. And I was screaming in pain every day, screaming at the top of my lungs so loud that I was even thinking I better keep it down or I might end up in a mental hospital. That's the level of pain I've been experiencing. And I thought it was Crohn's disease, but it turns out it was a gastrointestinal perforation. So a hole in my guts with stomach acid going into it, which was causing the extreme levels of pain. Like it's like 12 out of 10 hell, basically. It's like going into hell and then coming back out and then hoping you never go back in. But I kept going back and back and back. It was like 5 times a day for 3 months. I don't even know how I survived, because they say that the mortality rate for a gastrointestinal perforation is up to 40%. And the main treatment is emergency surgery. It's basically what they always do, emergency surgery. They cut you open and start doing crazy shit. It's insane if you look at the footage of this surgery. And the reason is because when you've got a hole in your stomach and acid is going into it, you end up screaming in pain. It's just the normal thing. So whenever this happens to someone, they're screaming, an ambulance picks them up, takes them to hospital, and they just do emergency surgery. It's basically what they always do. So when I got there, that's what they were saying. We need to do surgery on you. We need to cut you open. We need to jam tubes down your throat, up your nose, into your stomach, suck acid out, all this shit. And I just kept saying, no way, no way, no way, no way. I ended up with like 10 doctors all around me trying to convince me to start this surgery. One day later, I'm better. Because I said, no, no, no. And they're like, you're going to die, basically. They got me to sign this form as well. I didn't have to sign it, but it just covers them. So if I do die, it's like my own fault. And they were dead wrong. Like, they couldn't be more wrong. I didn't do any surgery. I didn't do shit. I just like laid in a bed, got some water put in my veins because I was dehydrated, and took some antacids. That's it. I didn't do anything else. And I'm better. Crazy, isn't it? But I'm going to give you the full story because it'll take me 40 minutes probably to explain this properly. It's super interesting if you can follow the science, because I know more than these doctors, these surgeons, I guarantee you, when it comes to this, right? What's happening to me, I've read so much about medicine. I know exactly what was going on, and I'm better now. I'm at the beach the next day, the very next day. And for you guys that are really following, you're going to be thinking, wait, something it doesn't quite add up. You've been sick for months and you never went to the hospital. You just laid there like on the ground screaming. So why did you go to the hospital now after all this, after you got better, right? Because I said I got better, didn't I? And then so why am I in the hospital on the 13th of February, which is just 3 days ago? Well, I did get better and I was good for a month. And then I binged on a bunch of junk food again, just what made me bad in the first place. And I got sick again, right? When I binge after not having eaten that food in ages, I'll just react really badly to it. And this time the pain wasn't quite as bad. It wasn't like before, during that 3-month period, it was like 12 out of 10 pain. Now it was like 10 out of 10. I was still screaming, but I could bear it by now. Like, I got used to this kind of pain. But at the same time, I was fed up. I was like, F this. Like, I've done this so many times now. I just called an ambulance and said, let's see what they give me. They gave me fentanyl, which is like 50 times stronger than heroin. And they took me to the local emergency room. And that's where all this started, where they're trying to operate me and all this. And I'm saying, no thanks. Right? But even though they were dead wrong, they gave me a clue. Because I've been going through this for months, right? Pain, intense pain. Now I finally go to the hospital when I'm not even that bad. Like, I'm still bad, but like not as bad as I was back then. Nowhere near. And they're saying I'm going to die if I don't operate. And I'm saying, no, I can get over this easily. I've already done this like a million times. But I did get a clue from this hospital, even though they were about to destroy me for no reason, make the biggest medical mistake in my life. I figured out that I didn't need to go through 3 months of pain. Literally, one of the things they offered me, amongst all the crazy shit, cutting me, so emergency surgery, tubes down my throat and my nose, out of all those offers I rejected, I accepted one. And that's the one that helped me, and it's the key. So now next time, if this ever happens again, instead of 3 months of hell, it's going to be 3 minutes. Maybe like 5 minutes. I'm not even joking. It's crazy. I'm going to make a video on it soon and explain all the science behind it. It'll take me about half an hour to explain. But if you can follow it, you're going to find this very interesting because I figured this out now. And I thought I had it all figured out before because I could get over it, right? Even though I was going through 3 months of hell, I got better. I cured myself. It just took forever. Like 3 months, it felt like 30 years. That's, when you're in that level of pain. Now, one of the things the hospital offered me is the one thing that can help tremendously if this happens again. No need for surgery, that's for sure. No need for any of that stuff. Just the most simple, benign little thing. And I want to tell you what that is in the video when I make that video. So for now, let's not talk about it anymore and just cruise on the beach. Because this is the very next day, guys. This is the day after you see me lying in that hospital bed. And this is 4-wheel drive beach, by the way, but we're on our 1-wheel drive, and you're going to see that the 1-wheel drive actually handles it much better than any of these 4-wheel drives. And I'm not even joking, they're running away as the tide is coming in. They're like, oh, we got to run, if they don't get out of the beach soon, they're going to be stuck. Whereas my 1-wheel drive can just hang out all night. Also, you might be wondering, wait, if this condition is like so painful that it makes people scream and then get emergency surgery, why did you do this for 3 months and never call an ambulance or a hospital? Why call it after so long? And the reason is because I was scared of what might happen. During that time, if you tested positive for the CV1 to the 9, you could end up in like a quarantine camp and shit. And in my condition, that would have killed me. Like I was basically on the edge of life and death. And I feared that tremendously. So I just brunted the pain. I never called an ambulance. Until I finally did. Way later, when I wasn't even that bad. Like, cause I got over it. I got over the 3 months of hell. I was better. I was much better. I was extremely well, actually. I was better than ever. When I relapsed in pain after binging on the wrong food, stupidly, it wasn't actually that bad, but I just called an ambulance at that point because I knew it wasn't that big a deal anymore with the CV1 to the 9. Don't even have to wear masks anymore and stuff. And I just figured, let's just see what they give me for the pain, Let's get some drugs. Because I was just fed up with this torture. Even though it wasn't as bad, it was still very bad pain. So I just called an ambulance. And that's why I was never going to get this emergency surgery, because I already knew that I could get over this. And I was right. I couldn't be more right. And this Sherman does not feel more right on the beach, I tell you.